Nairobi National Park is under immense pressure. Most of our buildings and infrastructure obviously are encroaching on this green land that was basically preserved for biodiversity nature and the trees. Some years back we had an incident that we had lions walking on the streets. And this is something that we have not seen for generations. That tells us that actually we have to rethink how we coexist, how we develop our infrastructure while at the same time conserving the rich nature that we have had as a city.
The biggest challenge for the park is because of the growing population on the periphery. There's been suggestions by a former director, Dr. David Weston, that the Nairobi National Park should be fenced, which personally I'm totally opposed to. Reason being is it then turns it into a zoo. It then turns it into a genetic nightmare because you've got no movement of game outside, going out, interacting and breeding with other related species outside, bringing new genes back into the park. It would lock everything in. Today we're talking about climate change. We'll talk about the importance of clean air. Here we have an environment in the middle of the city where the air is unpolluted. Living on the periphery on the southern side is paradise because you're not breathing in all the nonsense and the rubbish and the noise and all the rest of it.
If you look at many of the cities that are really growing, Nairobi is not polluted as many of the cities, part of course of the greenery. Being a city within the tropics, we are able to enjoy sunshine almost every full part of the day, natural lighting. We don't need air conditioners for most of our buildings unless they're specialized. So we are basically living with nature within the city. For the 12 hours working, 8 hours working time in a day, you're basically getting natural air, natural lighting, you're breathing fresh air from the city. That is the true genius of Nairobi as a green city under the sun.